How's it going, everyone? Eric here. Last week, thanks to you guys, this channel hit 75,000 subscribers. That's an amazing milestone that, back when I started making YouTube videos, I really never thought it was realistically possible. But thanks to all the support from you who watch, we've done it. 3/4 of the way to 100K, which would be an amazing milestone that I hope that one day we're fortunate enough to get to. But for now, we're celebrating 75K. I asked you guys on a post a couple days ago to send me any questions you might have. I do live streams all the time, and obviously I do out of the group several times a week, so you guys, I feel like I tell you guys a lot about what's on my mind, what I'm thinking about my life, but I really haven't ever designated a full-on Q&A video for this channel, at least not for a couple of years. And a lot has changed since then, so I figured I'd give you guys an opportunity to ask me whatever random questions came to your mind. Got a lot of responses. I picked out about 30 or so of the most consistent or the best ones, I thought, and I'm gonna answer them kind of rapid fire in this video here today. It's just a special thing, and hopefully you all enjoy. Question 1, over the years, who has been a YouTube mentor for you? In all honesty, not really anybody. I mean, up until about, earlier this year, I really didn't communicate with very many people on YouTube. Now, obviously I do the podcast with everybody. We've had some amazing guests on. I've gotten to meet a lot of other YouTubers, especially in the NASCAR and racing community. But really up until, just a few months ago, I had people I looked up to, but they didn't know who I was. I just looked up to their content. So as far as a YouTube mentor, really nobody. What made you decide to be a Matt Kenseth fan when you first started watching NASCAR? I still get asked all the time who my favorite driver is. Yeah, it's Matt Kenseth. Probably is gonna be that way for at least the next decade. I first got into NASCAR around 04, 05. I remember playing NASCAR Thunder 2004, and I loved Matt Kenseth's black and yellow dual paint scheme. I was just I gravitated to it. I always played as him when I played that game. Little did I know, later that year, I remember visiting one of my mom's old high school friends. She lived in Atlanta, Georgia. I remember visiting her, and her son had a ton of Matt Kenseth stuff in his bedroom. And it was then that I learned that her last name, before she was married, was Kenseth. And then I learned that she was actually a distant cousin of Matt Kenseth. So, I had that very loose connection to him. And it was just, when I was 7, 8 years old, I was very impressionable and just made sense to root for him. And I've loved rooting for him ever since. He's never let me down. How many subscribers did you think you'd get when you started your YouTube channel? This is a tough one to answer. I don't know. I always dreamed big. I always hoped I'd get hundreds of thousands of subscribers, even millions one day. Realistically though, even when I was 12 years old and 13 years old starting this YouTube channel, I was a realist. I knew that was very unlikely. I always thought I'd be lucky to get a few hundred, maybe a few thousand at some point. I never realistically thought 75K by the time I was, just still late teens, early 20s was ever really realistic, but yeah, so it's been amazing so far. Do you have any interest in becoming a NASCAR driver? No, that ship has sailed. 2 questions here. What former NASCAR track would you like to see return the most? Probably Rockingham. I think the last race there was 2004, which is right when I was starting to watch this series, and I feel like that was an exciting track. And what is your favorite genre of videos that you've uploaded on this channel? Yeah, if you've been watching for, even just 2 or 3 years, you'll know that, when I first started this channel, I was making stupid little short films I was 12, 13 years old. Didn't make any sense, they were terrible. I started doing NASCAR videos, specifically NASCAR stop motions, and that's when the Double E Cup Series really blew up this channel. 80-90% of what this channel is because of those videos. And then I've done NASCAR parodies, and obviously now the focus is more commentary stuff like Out of the Groove. Which do I enjoy the most? I still love doing short films. I'm in college to study film and TV, so I'm making short films and stuff for class. I still really love those. But honestly, the Out of the Groove has been amazing. I really like seeing the comments, seeing the feedback. Doing the stop motions all those years was fun and great. Time consuming for sure. But the comments on those videos really weren't as exciting. People were just complaining about which driver won or lost, But we're doing Out of the Groove. People really share their opinions about the sport, and I learn things after every video, and I just feel like I have a deeper understanding of NASCAR, and I think that's really awesome. So I like doing everything, but I really love the videos I'm making on this channel right now. If there's an election for NASCAR president and there are 5 candidates, who would you vote for? And they have candidates listed here: Tony Stewart, Dale Sr., if he was still alive, Jeff Gordon, Brad Keselowski, or Brian France. I'll cross out E pretty quickly there. Honestly, of those people, I didn't like him much as a driver, but I'd go with Tony Stewart. There was a recent sit-down he did with, I think it was with NBC recently. I think the video's on YouTube. And he comes across as just a guy who knows a lot about every aspect of racing. And I think he'd be great to lead the sport, even though I maybe wasn't a huge fan of him as a driver. What was the day you recorded your first video, and what was your first video? Now I'm trying to think back, I can't remember. One of the earliest videos I remember filming, I was maybe 9 or 10 years old with a couple friends of mine. I remember going out in our front yard, and it was called How to Play Golf. And all I remember about filming this little video when we were like 10 years old with a terrible little camera was that one of the jokes in the video was that one of us had to swing a golf club and have it fly out of our hands, and it would just go flying, and that was supposed to be funny. And I don't remember who swung it. I think it was me who was actually swinging the golf club, accidentally let go and it went flying into like a tall pine tree. And I remember years later the golf club was still stuck in this pine tree in our front yard, and it's probably gone now. I don't remember ever getting it down, but we've had hurricanes. I'm sure it's gone now, but yeah, I do remember that. I don't know if that was the first video I ever filmed, but that's maybe the earliest one I can remember. It's not on YouTube, so don't go looking for it. What is your favorite NASCAR game of all time? Honestly, I like NASCAR Heat 3 a lot. That's gonna sound really sacrilegious. I haven't played any like PC, I haven't played NR 2003 or iRacing or any of that, so I'm limited to just console games. Growing up, I loved NASCAR Thunder. I loved NASCAR 07. The EA Sports NASCAR games were great. But I'll be 100% honest, maybe it's just because I like the online capability, I do like NASCAR Heat 3 pretty well. The physics aren't great, but there's a lot of options there, so it's what it is. What got you into YouTube, and why do you think you became so successful? Well, thank you for thinking I'm successful. What got me into YouTube? I don't know, I think I just liked sharing things with people. I like trying to make people laugh. And you know, like any little kid, you want to make people laugh, you want attention, and I'm sure that's what drew me to it. What's continued me along, I don't know, a multitude of things. Why I became successful, if you can even call this successful, you know, but I don't know, I guess I just try new things a lot. You know, I could have always just done NASCAR stop motions, but no, I wanted to branch out and try new things, and I'm really happy I did that. And for the most part, these new things have worked or brought in new audiences, and you know, you kind of just have to try new things, because if you keep doing the same thing for years and years and years, eventually, you know, you're just gonna get stale. You know, unless it's The Simpsons, which, you know, even that's not as popular as it once was, you're not gonna be able to do the same thing for 10 or 20 years. Can you make another squirrel with scissors video? I know Raw Gator's been watching for years, yeah. When I was 13, I made a goofy video with my friend Mark where I used one of my dog's toys. It was like a little squirrel, and it came to life and tried to kill us. Yeah, it was a meme. It's still a meme. Me and my friend Mark still joke about those videos because they were just so goofy, even at the time. But no, I don't intend on making another squirrel with scissors, much to maybe your disappointment. What race made you fall in love with NASCAR? Now that's a tough question, because I mentioned that the first race I ever saw, Junior won. It was on TV. I don't even remember what track it was though. I think it was in 04, but I don't even know the track. Honestly, the earliest race I can remember was the first race I ever went to was the Texas Motor Speedway Fall Race in 2005, and I remember just having a blast. Matt Kenseth started on the pole, led a bunch of laps, that was fun to see, and then Carl Edwards, who, you know, I think that was his first, it wasn't his first career win, but it was his first win at Texas, you know, got the win, and that was really fun to see. And I just remember that whole experience was incredible. You know, that was back when Texas Motor Speedway was drawing in over 100,000 people per race, and just seeing that crowd, seeing the energy, seeing the race cars and hearing the race cars up close, that was amazing. If I had to pick any one, that probably was it. What was your favorite season of the Doubly Cup Series? I like to think that every season got better, but looking back at it, I liked a lot of the races in season 7, and I liked the way that one ended. So if I had to pick a favorite, maybe that one, but I haven't gone back and watched them all in a while, so I'd have to refresh my memory a little bit. What's your dream car and favorite Matt Kenseth paint scheme? Dream car, I really don't know how to answer. I drive a Toyota Camry, so I'm not exactly driving the most stylish luxury sedan on the market. I really don't have an answer for you there. Whatever's most expensive. If money's not an object, I just want like a $300,000 sports car. That'd be fun. Favorite Matt Kenseth paint scheme is 2005 DeWalt car. That's coincidentally the first one I ever saw race in person. That's probably my favorite paint scheme. What's your favorite restaurant? My favorite restaurant actually is a local place near where I grew up called Locatelli's Pizza. Google it, it's great. It typically pops up as one of the better places in the Houston area, the extended Houston area. It's a little pizza place, just kind of hidden away, but I love it. So it's great. What do you want for Christmas? I haven't really turned in my Christmas list yet, so I'll have to get back to you on that one. A lot of questions here. If you could be the best player in any sports league, which would you choose? Probably the NBA. They're getting paid like $50 million a year. I'd do that for sure. What's your favorite roller coaster? That's a tricky one. I'm not a huge thrill seeker. Like, I don't ride a lot of I don't go out and like look for the biggest, tallest, fastest roller coasters. Expedition Everest at Walt Disney World, Animal Kingdom, is pretty legit. Local around here at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, they have the Superman roller coaster, which is huge and pretty intimidating. I love that one a lot. Yeah, probably pick one of those. The Iron Shark at Pleasure Pier in Galveston, Texas. Look it up. It's like a short little 30-second roller coaster on a dock jutting out into the ocean. That little roller coaster though, that one packs a punch. I like that one too. I'll put that one in my top 3. Who's your favorite YouTuber? Man, I could go a lot of ways here. Ryan Higa, who, you know, he did like the How to Be Ninja, How to Be Gangster videos like 15 years ago, whatever. He still makes some of the best content on this website, I swear. What's your favorite movie? The Incredibles 1, the first one. Second one was great, but the first Incredibles is my favorite movie. Also love Pirates of the Caribbean. Those are good too. If you had enough money, what track would you spend the weekend at? Probably the Daytona 500 weekend, because that's like a whole week. And if money's no object, I could be there for the whole dang thing. You know, all the races, all the duels, all the qualifying, like everything. That would be pretty wild. What other sports do you watch consistently besides NASCAR? I'm a big baseball fan. Love the Houston Astros. I'm from Houston, so I love all the Houston sports teams, the Rockets, the Texans as well. I keep up with baseball and the NBA pretty closely. NASCAR is easily number one at this point. But, you know, I watch all those. I didn't grow up, a lot of people always ask if I like hockey. I feel like if Houston had a professional hockey team, maybe I would have grown up liking hockey, but I don't watch the NHL ever. What was the most heartbreaking Kenseth race? I have a feeling it's yet to come. Once we go to Homestead and it's his real last race probably, that might be heartbreaking. 2016 Phoenix, the playoff chase race, where it looked like he was gonna win and move on to Homestead and then got dumped in the final corner, which is mostly him and his spotter's fault. That was heartbreaking. That was probably the most upset visibly I've ever been at the end of a NASCAR race. So 2016 had a lot of rough finishes. Daytona 500 was almost as bad. I mean, it was a rough year. How many die casts do you have, big and little? Big, I don't know, maybe 15 or so, 15 to 16, 17, and at least 8 or 9 of those are Kenseth die cast. As far as the little cars go, I had to buy about 30 to 40 a year for about 5. I definitely have at least 200. I don't know that I have 300. I'm probably in the 250, 260 range. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. I'd have to count, and they're kind of all over the place, so I don't know if I'd have to find them all. What music do you listen to? Favorite bands? I used to listen to a lot of different things. Nowadays, I mostly listen to like rock, hard rock type stuff. Ghost, they're one of my favorite bands. They're kind of like new-ish. You probably heard of them. They're one of my favorites. Actually, seeing them live in a couple weeks. That'll be fun. Which tracks would you like to see in the Cup Series in the next few years? There's a lot of rumors and talks of bringing old tracks back, like, you know, North Wilkesboro or some of those would be cool to see. I mentioned Rockingham earlier. I'd like to see, just because I live in Austin right now, I'd like to see Circuit of the Americas get a date. They got an IndyCar date now for next year, which I'm excited for. I'm probably going to try to go to that race. But maybe to see them, I don't know if NASCAR would really work at that track, but it'd be nice to see them try at least. Another road course to the schedule, which I know a lot of fans would like. I'd dig that. How much has your family supported your YouTube career? A ton, honestly. And a big shout out, of course, to my dad, who has been very encouraging, obviously, but he's also the one who helped figure out how to get videos monetized for me a few years back. So that was huge. But both my parents really have been incredibly encouraging, really in all of my endeavors at this point, you know, making YouTube videos. Even now, I'm at college to study film, TV, and artistic stuff like that. And, you know, maybe a lot of parents would be a little hesitant for their kids to go into a field like this or to put so much on the line like this, but they've been incredibly encouraging, and I'm very thankful for that. And that's all I got for questions there. Hopefully I answered most of yours. I really appreciate all the support, guys. 75,000 subscribers. Oh gosh, it means the world to me. When I started this YouTube channel, I was 13 years old. I was still in 8th grade, middle school. Those are the days. This channel has been one of the greatest parts of my life through high school, and now I'm a junior in college, and I still dedicate so many hours a week to this channel just because it's that fun and because the support from you guys is just incredible. You know, there's nothing else like it, and I just want to thank you guys for it. You know, even if you've only been watching a week, if you've been watching for 6 years like some of you crazy people have, I just want to say thank you so much. I'm here because of you, and I'm very grateful. Thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully this was fun for you. Yeah, not a lot else to say, but thanks. And hopefully one day soon we can get to 100K and get me that silver play button. That would look really nice on one of these walls in here. That would be pretty snazzy, but we'll take things one step at a time. Thank you all for 75K. It means the world to me. And I'll see you guys in the next video.